It's happening. You didn't feel the moment it began, but everything is shifting. You are leaving soon, and now it's too late to stop it. Something happened, quietly, without an announcement. Call it the ignition. Call it the 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗃𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗣𝗦. Call it whatever you want, but the truth is, you've already begun drifting from what you thought was yours. And yes, the new moon is playing a much bigger role in this shift than most people realize. Stick around, because there's one specific reason why this moon won't wait for you to be ready. I'll get into that later, and trust me, you need to know it. And if something in your life suddenly feels outdated or off, feel free to share what it is. You can even add 555 if it feels like a shift is already happening for you. But before we even get to that, you need to hear what was never supposed to reach you until now. You weren't supposed to hear this until right before the door shuts. This isn't a message for who you were. This is for the version of you that's already moving, the one you haven't caught up to yet. You're not watching this by accident. You received this dispatch now because something is about to expire. Tomorrow's 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗃𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗣𝗦 is triggering this shift, but it's not alone. And here's the part no one's saying out loud. There is something or someone around you that can't survive the crossing, and you already know what it is. You've known. There are signs that confirm this is taking place, and you must be aware of them. You're not breaking character, the character is breaking off of you. There was a version of you that could smile through it, nod politely, blend in when it was easier. You could manufacture interest, perform calm, wear alignment like a uniform. But now, it's not just hard, it's impossible. Something in your nervous system has revoked the ability to simulate your old self. And this isn't rebellion. It's not you choosing to be more authentic or finally stepping into your truth. That would imply effort. This is mechanical. You can't keep up the performance because the script no longer loads. You're not burned out, you're wiped clean. 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗃𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗣𝗦 doesn't ease you into your new self. It erases the overlays. It dissolves the scaffolding that held your emotional autopilot together. And now, everything you used to fake has no muscle memory left to back it. The words you used to say don't come out right. The roles you used to play feel like theater. And when you try to pretend you care, something inside twists and rejects it. The new moon in 2 days is not here to gently guide you through this. It's here to overwrite the whole interface. No compromise, no duality. Just what no longer fits cannot follow. If you've been feeling like you're malfunctioning socially, emotionally, mentally, it's not malfunction. It's compatibility loss. You're becoming illegible to the old world. Your energy no longer speaks the dialect of distortion. And what happens when the world around you starts noticing that you're no longer fluent? Well, that's when the doors start to slam. The 𝗂𝗍𝗻𝗍 doesn't lock you out. It locks you away from what would delay your arrival. Suddenly, things that used to flow stop. Plans crumble. Conversations turn cold. People ghost. Money vanishes. It feels like sabotage, but it's surgical. This isn't punishment, it's precision. When Jupiter meets the heart of the sun, the signal that gets emitted is absolute. It doesn't send you signs, it sends you interventions. And right now, those interventions are showing up as closed doors. Sudden rejection? That's a reroute. A job ghosting you? That's time protection. Something that made perfect sense last week now feels cursed. That's not confusion, that's recalibration. You're being denied access to your previous exit route. That's why everything familiar is crumbling. You were never meant to take that same route out. You would have looped back into the same frequencies, the same architecture of identity. The 𝗂𝗧𝗏 field knows this. It sees your trajectory beyond what your mind can comprehend. So yes, some paths will glitch out right before your eyes. Some people will turn away with no warning. Something will fall through, and you'll feel that sting. But make no mistake, this is divine interference. And the more you try to force a door that's already been sealed, the louder the refusal gets. What you're feeling right now isn't loss, it's removal. Strategic, surgical removal. The kind that doesn't ask for your permission because it's trying to keep you on time. Whatever is being denied to you right now was designed to delay who you're becoming. This isn't insomnia. It's a spiritual summons. There's something strange happening in this window between Jupiter 𝗂𝗧𝗏 and the new moon. Something precise, deliberate, coordinated. And you may have already felt it, not during the day, but in the stillest part of the night. That moment when the world is silent, shadows are long, and everything feels slightly out of sync. It usually starts with a subtle pull, eyes snapping open for no reason. You check your phone, 4:44 a.m. again, or maybe it's 3:33 or 1:11. And it doesn't just happen once, it becomes a pattern, a coded repetition. And no, this isn't your body being restless or your brain overthinking. This is a scheduled activation, a midnight recalibration. Your consciousness is being synchronized to the new reality grid that's only accessible when the veil is thinnest, when logic is quiet, and your spiritual receivers can actually hear. You're not waking up to think, you're waking up to tune in. Those numeric timestamps, they're not random, they're coordinates, markers left in your subconscious to alert you. You're syncing, and what you're syncing to isn't of the old timeline. 444 in particular holds a frequency of divine alignment, stabilization, and foundational transformation. It doesn't gently whisper, it declares. And if you're being jolted awake at this exact sequence, it's not just a nudge. It's a message being delivered through your own energy field. You're being recoded in real time. And here's what's even more uncanny. Many of you are being pulled from sleep at the same hour, across different countries, time zones, lives. Why? Because the field doesn't operate by geography, it operates by readiness. And when you're ready, you stop sleeping through the transmission. Your body knows. Your spirit recognizes the signal. You wake up because you're meant to receive. And if you're watching this thinking, wait, I've been waking up like this for days now, then know this. You're not crazy. You're not alone. And you're not just sensitive. You're part of a tightly orchestrated rollout that's happening right now, one wave at a time. Not all echoes are meant to be answered. Have you noticed the thoughts that don't feel like yours lately? The ones that sneak in quietly, strange regrets, long-forgotten cravings, that sudden urge to reach out to someone you let go of years ago. It doesn't make sense. You're moving forward. You're different now. But still, these fragments return. You're not regressing. You're not slipping back. What you're hearing is not a sign you're falling behind. It's the final monologue of an identity that knows it's being retired. The version of you that survived by shrinking is giving one last speech before it disappears. That voice, the one whispering old doubts or dragging your mind toward dead-end fantasies, that's a memory echo, and just like any energy on its way out, it wants acknowledgement. It wants airtime. But it doesn't need a response. You are not required to entertain the dying wishes of a self you've outgrown. There's a strange kind of psychic static happening right now. People are tuning into versions of themselves that only exist in memory, not because they're meant to return to them, but because those echoes need closure. It's not about clarity, it's about clean exit. This is why you might feel random waves of sadness with no source. Moments of, maybe I should have, sudden nostalgia for patterns that once drained you. That's not you losing progress, that's residue lifting off the edges of your auric field. Don't confuse a whisper with a calling. Don't confuse nostalgia with misdirection. If it's trying to remind you who you used to be, don't answer the phone. Let it ring out. Let it fade. And don't worry, the real call is coming soon. But when it rings, it won't sound like fear. It will sound like destiny arriving right on time. Energetic deadlines are real, and this one doesn't negotiate. There's a window open right now, and most people don't realize it's not just symbolic. It's literal. Energetically literal. We're in the narrow corridor between 𝗵𝗂𝗀𝗃𝗧𝗧𝗧 and the new moon, and the air around your choices is charged, not with possibility, but with consequence. This isn't one of those wait until you feel aligned kind of moments. This is a pressure point, a choosing point. And if you don't move, the shift will. Not against you, but without asking. That means things might fall apart, not because you're doing something wrong, but because the version of your life that requires your hesitation is being erased. If you've been dragging your feet about something lately, a decision, a conversation, a commitment, a letting go, don't be surprised if it gets decided for you. Plans collapsing, timelines dissolving, opportunities suddenly vanishing. That's not sabotage. It's enforcement. The new frequency isn't waiting for your clarity. It's building without it. If you don't walk forward on your own, the current will carry you, but not gently. And maybe you're feeling it already. The conversations that used to be on pause are suddenly closed. The bridge you were planning to cross later, gone. It sounds harsh, but it's precision. This phase is for what's immediate, living, and honest. Everything else is being cut loose. Now here's the twist. This isn't punishment. This is protection. The universe is removing your access to everything that was keeping you uncertain. Not to trap you, but to clarify you. To reveal that you're not meant to linger in limbo. But don't let that lull you into thinking you have forever to act, because you don't. The new moon doesn't work in drafts. It imprints. This portal doesn't wait for your readiness, it reveals what you're ready for. And the more you hesitate, the more the path ahead will collapse everything you thought you still had time to keep. The only thing worse than a leap is being pushed off the edge and not realizing it was your flight path all along. You're not being tested, you're being timed. And the clock is already almost out. If everyone else is panicking and you feel peace, you're not behind. You're already ahead. Not everyone is anxious right now, and that might be the strangest part of all. Because in the middle of all this cosmic acceleration, some of you are feeling something quiet, steady, almost surreal. You're not restless. You're not overwhelmed. You're not spiraling. You're just still. And it might be confusing. You might even be wondering if you're dissociating, if you're missing something, or if you're disconnected from what everyone else seems to be sensing. But you're not. You're through. That strange neutrality, that internal quiet, that lack of urgency, that's not detachment, it's clarity. It's what it feels like to be on the other side of a frequency jump before your mind has caught up. Stillness after turbulence is not emptiness. It's arrival. Here's what's happening. Some of you didn't resist. You moved when the signals came, even if you didn't have all the answers. You let things go. You walked away. You chose silence when noise felt fake. You listened. You followed the inner tug. And now you're standing in a pocket of energy that's stable because you arrived early. Think of it like this. When a system upgrades, not everyone installs the new code at the same time. Some users are still debugging. You're already running the new operating frequency. That's why your emotions don't match the chaos around you. That's why other people's meltdowns feel like echoes from a world you left behind a week ago. And yes, it might feel lonely right now. When you're first through the door, it's quiet. No welcome party, no instant confirmation. But that silence, it's holy. It means you're in the field of creation before the crowd shows up. This calm isn't an absence of sensation. It's the full saturation of presence. You're not unbothered, you're unavailable to the chaos you've already transcended. And when others start catching up, when they start asking, "Why do I feel so off lately?" you'll remember this moment. You'll know you are already living the answer. So if you're feeling that strange, grounded neutrality while everyone else is still spiraling, don't doubt it. Recognize it for what it is. The calm isn't a delay. It's confirmation that you already stepped through the door everyone else is still looking for. This is not a negotiation. This moon does not knock. It enters and initiates. There's a reason this new moon feels different. It's not soft. It's not subtle. It's not here to hold your hand while you write affirmations and hope the universe listens. This moon doesn't wait for you to set intentions. This moon is the intention, and it's already moving. The Jupiter Cazimi has lit the match, and this moon is the signal flare. It's not opening a new chapter, it's sending you out into it. No rehearsal, no draft mode, no second attempt. If Jupiter cracked open the portal, this moon is what pulls you through it. You don't get to stay on the fence anymore, not with this energy. This is not the kind of lunation that lets you manifest in peace while staying in old patterns on mute. This one's a launcher. It's coded to push. That moment you've been circling, it's here. And whether you say yes or not, this moon will answer for you. You're not being asked to decide. You're being activated to proceed. There's a force behind this moon that overrides hesitation. It doesn't care how long you've been preparing, healing, wondering. It sees your trajectory and lights the fire under it. It doesn't need your plans to be perfect. It just needs you to stop delaying them. This lunation is happening in real time, not as a concept, but as a deployment. You might even feel it in strange ways. Sudden clarity, an unexpected opportunity that feels far too big to be random, or even a breakdown that looks like destruction, but is actually realignment. That's not coincidence, that's execution. You're not starting a new cycle, you're being commissioned. This is a dispatch order from your higher alignment. You're being moved into position. So if you've been sensing that something major is arriving, but you're not quite sure what it is, trust that it's not because you're blind to it. It's because you are it. You are what's arriving. The moon is just delivering the signal that unlocks your next phase. This isn't intention setting, it's ignition. Don't confuse the silence before this moon with stillness. That quiet is the inhale before the command. And when it hits, when that darkness folds in and the sky resets, you'll know. You won't have to wonder if you're in it. You'll be moved, launched, activated. There is no preparation left to do. It's already begun. The exit was not a pause. It was a seal, and it won't open again. There's a strange temptation that creeps in right after a shift, to turn around, to go back, to test the door you just walked through, to see if maybe you left something behind, or maybe you weren't supposed to leave in the first place. Don't do it. Because here's what no one tells you. If you try to re-enter what you just exited, it won't work. Not in the way you remember. That job, that dynamic, that role, that identity, it may still physically exist, but the version of you that belonged in it doesn't. The second you try to go back to the old frequency, it starts to feel fake, like you're play-acting a life you don't remember signing up for. Like your mouth is saying the right things, but your spirit is already somewhere else. The bridge you left behind isn't gone. It's just no longer yours. And maybe you've already felt this. You tried to reconnect with someone from the past and it felt hollow. You sat down to do something familiar and it felt like your hands didn't know how anymore. You said yes to something you used to love, and instead of joy, you felt disoriented. That's not your failure. That's your upgrade. This energy won't let you stay small anymore. It won't let you lie to yourself and call it stability. What's collapsing isn't random, it's strategic. The version of you that belonged to those habits, people, and timelines has been released. And if you try to wear that skin again, it'll itch like a memory you can't explain. So honor the exit. Don't knock on doors that were shut for you. Don't grieve access to places your energy has already outgrown. Where you're going, old connections can't stabilize you because they were never meant to follow you into expansion. Let yourself walk forward, not because the past was wrong, but because your future has been waiting too long. Let the old rooms echo. Let them empty out behind you. You're not being locked out. You're being redirected to something your past couldn't hold. And the longer you linger near that closed exit, the more it will hurt. Not because you made a mistake, but because your spirit knows the door has already disappeared. So if something calls you backward, pause, breathe, then turn, not in fear, but in recognition, and keep walking. Leaving the old you behind doesn't always feel like freedom at first. Sometimes it feels like betrayal. No one talks about this part. Everyone celebrates the transformation, the portal, the shift, the so-called glow-up of your soul, but almost no one warns you about this. The guilt. And not the obvious kind, like regret or shame. This is subtler, quieter, trickier. It creeps in right after you make the right decision, right after you walk away from something you've outgrown, right after you choose yourself, your truth, your alignment. You'll feel it in the silence that follows, like an echo asking, was that selfish? Was that too cold? Should I have stayed? And here's why. Because for so long, the old version of you ran on performance. People-pleasing, pattern-following, agreement-making. Even when you didn't want to. Even when it drained you. Even when it lied about who you really were. So now, when you don't play along, when you don't pretend, when you stop showing up to perform the version of yourself that others feel most comfortable around, you feel the absence, and the absence feels like guilt. You're not doing anything wrong, you're just not doing what kept everyone else comfortable. And yes, it's strange to feel guilty for your own truth, but don't confuse discomfort with misalignment. Discomfort is just what happens when a system starts to reboot. Let the guilt pass. Don't answer to it. Don't argue with it. Just recognize it for what it is. A residue of the person you used to be. The one who said yes to things that never felt right. You are not that person anymore. And the guilt? It's just your past waving goodbye. Let it go. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.